Have you ever stared at your to-do list and felt so overwhelmed that you did nothing at all? Not because you're lazy, not because you don't care, but because the task in front of you feels too big, too heavy, too impossible to start. So instead of starting, you scroll your phone, you check emails, you organize files, you do small, meaningless tasks that feel productive, but change nothing. And at the end of the day, you feel worse than when you started. If that sounds familiar, you're not broken. You're trapped. And in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly why that happens and the simple rule that turns paralysis into progress. Stay with me, because this story might be the difference between staying stuck for another year and finally moving forward. First, let me tell you about Marcus. Marcus was 32 years old, intelligent, capable, and ambitious. He wasn't dreaming from the couch. He wasn't waiting for luck. He had a real business idea. He had the skills to execute it. He had some startup capital. He even had the time. What Marcus didn't have was momentum. Every morning, Marcus sat at his desk with his laptop open and a massive to-do list staring back at him. Write business plan. Estimated time, 20 hours. Build website. Estimated time, 30 hours. Create marketing strategy. Estimated time, 15 hours. Design logo and branding. Estimated time, 10 hours. 75 hours of work. Every morning, Marcus looked at that list and felt crushed. Where do I even start? The business plan alone will take weeks. And if I don't do it perfectly, everything else will fall apart. So Marcus would open a blank document, type a title, stare at the empty page for 20 minutes, and close it. I need to be in the right mindset for this. I'll start tomorrow when I have more energy. But tomorrow came and went, and Marcus stayed exactly where he was. This went on for 3 months. 3 months of planning to start. 3 months of good intentions. 3 months of zero progress. Marcus wasn't lazy. He wasn't undisciplined. He was overwhelmed. Eventually, his wife confronted him. Either start your business or get a job. You can't keep sitting at that desk doing nothing. That night, frustrated and ashamed, Marcus called his uncle. His uncle had built and sold 2 successful companies. A calm, practical man who had seen this pattern before. I don't know what's wrong with me, Marcus said. I have everything I need, but I can't seem to actually start. His uncle laughed. Not mockingly, knowingly. Marcus, you're suffering from what I call mountain paralysis. You're standing at the bottom of a mountain, staring at the peak. The distance feels so overwhelming that you can't take the first step. Yes, Marcus said. That's exactly it. So what do? You stop trying to climb the mountain, his uncle said, and you commit to taking the smallest possible step. Let me teach you a rule that defeats procrastination. The rule is simple. When you're avoiding a task because it feels too big, you commit to working on it for just 10 minutes, not an hour. Not until it's finished, just 10 minutes. Marcus frowned. 10 minutes won't accomplish anything. That's where you're wrong, his uncle said. And then he explained why this rule works when everything else fails. The first reason is starting friction. The hardest part of any task isn't doing the work, it's starting. Your brain treats big tasks like threats. They trigger resistance, fear, and avoidance. Starting feels expensive. Continuing feels cheap. Once you're in motion, staying in motion requires far less energy. By committing to just 10 minutes, you lower the starting cost so much that your brain stops fighting you. It can't argue with 10 minutes. The second reason is momentum. Here's the truth most people never notice. Once you start, you almost never stop at 10 minutes. Why? Because momentum is real. The first step is the hardest. After that, the task pulls you forward. 10 minutes isn't about finishing. It's about crossing the invisible barrier between not doing and doing. The third reason is progress. Even if you stop after 10 minutes, you've made progress. And progress creates motivation, not the other way around. Zero progress creates guilt. Guilt creates avoidance. Avoidance creates paralysis. 10 minutes breaks that cycle. Then his uncle showed Marcus exactly how to apply the rule. First, you set a timer, literally. 10 minutes, no more, no less. Second, you commit only to those 10 minutes. You promise yourself you can stop guilt-free when the timer ends. Third, you choose one specific microtask. Not work on the business plan. That's too vague. Instead, write 3 bullet points about my target customer. Tiny, clear, achievable. Fourth, you start immediately. No waiting for motivation, no getting into the mood. You start because the timer says so. Fifth, when the timer ends, you stop or continue. Both outcomes are wins. You either stop knowing you kept your promise, or you continue because momentum took over. Either way, procrastination loses. The next morning, Marcus sat at his desk again. Same laptop, same overwhelming list, but this time he didn't stare at it. He set his phone timer for 10 minutes. He opened a blank document and typed one sentence at the top, 3 bullet points about my target customer. He pressed start. For the first few minutes, his mind wandered. This feels pointless. This won't matter. But he kept going. By minute 5, he had 1 bullet point. By minute 8, he had 3. The timer went off. Marcus looked at the screen. It wasn't perfect, but it existed, and something unexpected happened. He thought, maybe I could write 3 more. He reset the timer. That day, Marcus worked for 47 minutes. Not because he forced himself, because he had momentum. He didn't finish the business plan, but he had 3 pages, 3 pages more than yesterday. The next day, he committed to 10 minutes on the website. He worked for 35 minutes and built the homepage structure. The day after that, 10 minutes on the logo. He worked for 22 minutes and sketched 5 concepts. The next day, 10 minutes on marketing. He worked for 51 minutes and outlined the entire strategy. Within 2 weeks, Marcus had completed the business plan, built a functional website, designed branding, and started marketing. All from 10 minutes at a time. 3 months later, the same amount of time he had wasted being paralyzed, Marcus launched his business. His wife asked him what changed. I stopped trying to climb the mountain in one day, Marcus said. I just committed to 10 minutes. 10 minutes turned into hours. Hours turned into days. Days turned into something real. Marcus learned a truth most people never do. Momentum beats motivation. And starting small creates momentum. Right now, you have something you're avoiding. A project, a creative goal, studying, writing, exercising, building something that matters. You're not avoiding it because you're incapable. You're avoiding it because it feels too big. Here's what I want you to do. Not tomorrow, not Monday. Right after this video ends. Identify the one task you've been avoiding the most. Define a 10-minute micro-task. Not work on the project, but write 3 bullet points. Open the document and outline 1 section. Research for 10 minutes. Set your timer for 10 minutes. Start immediately. When the timer ends, you can stop guilt-free, or continue if momentum carries you. If you do this for 7 days straight, just 10 minutes a day, you will make more progress than you've made in the last month. Not because 10 minutes is magic, but because starting is everything. The most successful people in the world aren't superhuman. They don't wait for motivation. They don't feel ready. They just know how to start. And now you do too. If this rule unlocked something in your mind, like this video right now. If you can't commit to 1 click, don't lie to yourself about committing to 10 minutes of work. Drop a comment telling me the one task you're going to apply the 10-minute rule to today. Let's build accountability. Share this video with someone who's been about to start something for months. Maybe they need this rule today. And subscribe to this channel. Every week you'll get stories and systems that actually work. No fluff, just results. Remember Marcus, 3 months of paralysis became 3 months of building, all because of one simple rule. Stop waiting for the perfect time. Stop waiting for motivation. Stop waiting to feel ready. Set your timer for 10 minutes and just start. The rest will take care of itself.